Two.
Good afternoon, folks. Ryan Gonzales here with Becker Properties, joined with my co-host, Mr. Carlos Cruz, E-Mortgage Capital, and our special guest, Xenia Alvarez with Meritage Homes. How you doing, Xenia?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. So we wanted to interview Xenia today because she's been in new home sales for a long time, was briefly a real estate agent for about a year or so. And so she knows the ins and outs of the real estate market, new home sales. She worked with a couple different builders. I want to ask you about your background, how you got into it, and your journey along the way.
Yeah, no, thanks. So 15 years goes by pretty quick, right?
Damn, 15.
15, yeah. So funny, so the way I got into it was I worked at a news station, and one of my mentors, we were out reporting on the streets of San Antonio downtown, and part-time she would show homes. So I was like, well, you know, what is real estate? What else do you do on the side besides reporting? And she's like, well, this is what I do. So she kind of opened that door for me. Then I found other friends that were leaning into that industry and found out that I loved it more than reporting in San Antonio. So I wanted to help people, you know, achieve their dreams. It's fulfilling, and I love it.
And so she was always in new home sales, or was she a real estate agent?
She was in general real estate.
Yeah. Okay. And so this was 15 years ago?
15 years ago.
Crazy,
I worked
right?
at...
I got a question for
yeah.
you. This is a big one. In 2010, what was the average price of a new home that you would have sold?
So I started in Kyle Seal area, Babcock, with David Weekley, selling home sites off the golf course, and I believe they were like around 200,000.
That's crazy, right?
And now, can you
Yes.
find a home for 200,000?
You
A
can.
pre-existing, but that's about it.
New
Yeah.
construction.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That'd be tough.
Yeah.
That'd be really tough. I know they're selling those like one-bedroom loft type homes.
2.25, I think, is what I'm seeing. Those.
Yeah, Lennar sells
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
I think there's one other builder that sells those too, but it's like
They're-
it's kind of like a townhome style.
They're tiny.
Yeah.
Or like the tiny homes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, the tiny homes, basically, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Um,
And then in Austin, I sold there in 2011.
Oh, did you?
Southwest Austin, off Mopac. Could see the view of downtown. Those are starting.
so you lived
the
in Austin for a bit, right?
Yes, yeah. They were starting in the 190s.
Oh
in
my gosh.
Austin.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't get an apartment for 190.
So this
Yeah,
was
the good
15
old
years
days.
ago. You worked with David Weekley starting off, and then when did you transition to another builder, and when did you transition to general real estate?
Yeah, so I started with David Weekley, had an amazing training, you know, went to Houston, met Mr. David Weekley himself. Was with the company for maybe a little less than a year. And then I got the offer from Meritage Homes in Austin. So I moved over there. Now in the old school days when new home sales, you know, back then you would be an assistant. So I was actually an assistant for about a year. And my job was to market the community, do events, and we did some cold calling.
Sure.
So I had a script, and my job was to schedule at least between 10 to 20 appointments, and then the sales consultant would bring them in and sell them and close them, or she would.
So there's often a misconception that new home sales reps just sit in the model home and wait for people to walk in the door, right? And sell them a home. But it's not as easy as that. Like, especially back then, less social media probably, you know, it was more like cold calling, maybe door knocking, maybe like word of mouth. What do you have to say to that? Like, how hard was it? Like, it's not an easy grind.
No, it's not. So now it's totally different with social media. And I think, you know, about a couple weeks ago on Instagram, I connected with a realtor, and she's like, oh, you know, thanks for contacting me. I feel like this is the new way of cold calling, is by sending a DM now on Facebook, TikTok, or Instagram. Now, back then, we had a list of maybe some realtors, you know, with a particular broker, with Becker Properties, and call. Hey, Ryan, how are you? My name is Xenia with Meritage Homes. I'm selling homes Southwest Austin. We're starting the 190s. Do you have a client looking? And, you know, tell them about our incentives, our events, and then bring them out. That's the way it was.
Yeah. And how is it now?
So now
Just
DMs, a lot of social media marketing, a lot of dancing sometimes in these videos.
Nice.
You got to get their attention somehow,
Hey, here
right?
in the podcast right
Yeah,
now.
you gotta get their attention.
Yeah, so, you know, there's definitely more platforms that are out there.
A ton.
Yeah, so you can, you know, promote yourself. You're your own business. You market. market the company, market your incentives, rate, everything.
Is that how your day-to-day pretty much looks?
Yes. So I have some days like today, right? We're doing some podcasting. Another day, tomorrow's my content day. So I'll do house tours. I follow up with, some clients, some realtors, and set up the appointments for the weekend. So, yeah.
Cool. Cool. I know there's realtors that wanted to get into new home sales and eventually did, and then vice versa. So you jumped into the real estate world for a second. Why did you go back, and what was different, or what did you like and not like?
Yeah, so actually I was a realtor with Keller Williams Heritage in 2019, and was taking off learning. So one of the things that I learned, I guess, COVID was hitting us, right? So
Everything changed, yeah.
Everything was changing. Some people were nervous. Nobody knew what that was going to bring. If I could change one thing, I probably would have stuck with it. But I was like, I'm nervous. So I got an offer to go back to a builder. So I went back, kind of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody was flourishing in the real estate market too at that time with those 2% rates and and everything.
But to go with that
good.
statement, I think what happened was also too many people got in the market.
Yes.
The market got flooded by a lot of bad talent or inexperienced talent. And you'd get some of these realtors that weren't getting coached by their brokers, and they would ask the lender, how do I write a contract?
That's crazy. I heard about those stories, though.
And it wasn't as if it just happened once, and it was a frequent thing. Or you'd get loan officers giving out pre-quals, and they hadn't even looked at the buyer's income or assets to make sure that they actually qualified.
Yeah. And I don't know if you get it a lot now, but probably during that time, if you were doing new home sales, you'd probably have a lot of agents just bring you buyers and not know what they're doing. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Oh, yeah. So during that time, I met a ton of realtors, and you actually helped me a lot too, learning general real estate. But all the contacts I made, they're like, oh, okay, we're going to bring you the buyers, because the new home builders were giving we still are giving amazing incentives, but those incentives were like COVID incentives. So the realtors were bringing them, and it was almost like we're taking orders,
Wow.
Want this house, 3,000 square foot, 4-bedroom, 3-bath. Okay, done. Next person.
It was a way different time during that time for builders. Well, for real estate in general, right? Inventory was super low.
I would hear stories of builders holding back to release the houses that were going to be available soon.
Yep.
And they knew that if they didn't have a full staff, the day they left it open, the day they put it out in the market, they would have a line of people waiting to open.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, lines and waiting lists. Those
open
are
at
pretty.
10 a.m.
Those are pretty common. And so, depending on the relationship you have with the builder and the sales rep, stuff like that, sometimes you can get ahead of the line. But that was tough, man. We would wait 3 to 6 months just to get on the list, or just to get in line to contract a house.
And it was kind of cool because I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but it was kind of cool because I have a relationship with some different builders. I had lost my relationship with you. I had forgotten that you were there.
Oh, okay.
And I would get buyers that were pre-qualified, and I'd be able to call a builder that I knew and say, hey, can we get them on a list? Do you have anything opening up soon? Do you have anything in this price point?
Yeah.
And they would lock in a sale before it even posted it as a public for sale.
Oh yeah, that was happening all the time.
Yeah.
It's all about
off market sales. So you being in general real estate and new home sales, you have a different perspective than some of these other new home sales consultants, which I love. I feel like any realtor that's going to go to you that's experienced is going to really appreciate that, because you can also compare builders and you can compare new homes and pre-existing homes. There's probably a lot of buyers that come to you and say, hey, what's the benefit of buying a new house compared to pre-existing? Because one of the biggest complaints I get, and you probably see it too, is that the distance. Typically, it's the distance from the new homes to their job versus something that's pre-existing. It's going to be a lot closer. So give me your take on pros and cons.
Yeah, no, great question. So, of course, when you go with Meritage Homes, because we specialize in spray foam insulation, back in the day,
there's not too many that do that, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
There's far and few in between. Yeah. But back in the day, we actually had a display of like the chocolate bunny in the attic, just to show like, hey, there's not a lot of heat up there. This
Wow.
chocolate bunny isn't melting.
That's pretty cool.
I wish we still did that, but we don't. We have some demonstrations of the spray foam in the attic and the 2x4 framing. I actually live in one, so my customers love seeing my electric bills. That way they see that I'm telling the truth.
That's huge.
Yeah. So, they can buy a new Meritage home for, bills under like $280, like a 3,000 square foot home.
That's
Yeah.
less than,
So that's a plus, right, for new. And then you
That's
have
huge.
it's less than I pay for a house half that size.
Getting into a house, period, like with all the utilities and all the upkeep and maintenance.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a huge benefit for sure, and that's specific towards Meritage.
Yes. And then, you have your new home warranty, 1 year cosmetic, 2 year electrical, plumbing, HVAC. And then when you register your HVAC system, you can have all the parts and everything covered up to 10 years, which we know in Texas, here in San Antonio, it gets really hot. So
Yeah,
all
you definitely need to register. A lot
yeah.
of people don't know that. Register
Yeah.
your HVAC.
Right.
Nobody told me
Register.
when I bought my new
Register.
home.
Yes.
Nobody told me to register anything.
It's like automatically like what 5 years and you get additional 5. I think when you
Your
register.
Yes.
appliances
When
and
you're-
your AC, and we had one of the AC units go out right at that window. Thank God the builder covered it because they didn't want a bad reputation. But it was not. It was like oh damn, I didn't know.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Speaking of warranties, because you brought it up, how does your third-party warranty company compare to some of the others that you've seen or the stories you've heard? Because I've heard a lot of like negative stories about home warranties when it
Okay.
comes to builders and stuff like that, aftermarket warranties. Do you feel like y'all's maintenance after the sale is pretty good, or your warranty after the sale is pretty good?
I do. And also speaking from experience. So actually real life, last week.
People love to hear that.
Yeah, real life. Like the AC was not cooling. Went to a Spurs game, came home and was like, oh my God, it's so warm. Had to call the warranty people. They directed me to, the servicing company, and they actually came out like really quick within like 72 hours. So
Wow.
now my house is cold. But, it can take anywhere between 48 to 72 hours.
Yeah.
But not bad. Now, another thing I tell people is that when you're buying a new home, you need to pick a builder, that is a reputable company that is like long lasting, because if that builder goes away or is bankrupt, then you don't have, what do you call for warranty? Right?
Yeah.
So something
That's
to
a
think
huge
about.
point.
Definitely a huge point. So when a buyer comes to you without representation, without a realtor, how does it differ when they do come to you with a realtor? How does the realtor play a part in how smooth the process goes or how difficult the process is? Do you feel like they bring value to you and the buyer, or what's your experience been with that?
Yeah, no, love working with realtors. They're my customer. 75% of our business is with realtors.
Okay.
And also it makes it a smooth transition for the customer. So, everybody's super busy with life, kids, jobs. And if the customer is unable to, make an appointment, or they need some extra hand-holding, that realtor and the sales rep, we can do it together as a team. So it's just kind of knocking out more with two people,
Yeah.
right by your side. Yeah.
Do you ever recommend a realtor to the buyers that come in, or you just ask them, or how does that work?
Yeah. So another story, right? I had a customer who was really eager to sell her home. This particular home that she had for like 20 years. I sold a home to a realtor a block away from where I lived. I knew she worked for Orchard. They had an amazing program, so I contacted her. And then Orchard's, profile fit the buyer's profile where they had to sell the home. So I don't know if that's a good, example of,
Oh, definitely, yeah.
how
You're
that
solving
can
a
help.
problem.
Yeah. We're not just selling homes. We're solving problems for people in their lives and putting solutions in place. That way they can get to their next goal, their next
Yeah.
dream, all of that.
You bring up a really good point, because there's a lot of buyers that maybe want to move up from their first home and want to buy a second home, but they don't know
Yes.
how that whole process goes and how difficult or smooth that can be depending on who you work with. It can be a difficult situation transferring over to a new home
Yeah.
and selling your old home or your pre-existing home, just because right now, especially just because houses are taking so long to sell. So you being that resource and knowing who to reach out to is huge, I think.
Yeah,
Sure.
definitely. And there's also a lot of people don't know about like lease buyout options. You know, they're like, I don't want to rent anymore.
Explain that.
So, for example, let's say I had Carlos walk in and he's like, hey, I'm renting an apartment at the Rim. I've been there for 2 years, but I found this home that with you, Zenny, and I want to purchase it. How do I get out of my lease? Or I feel stuck.
Right.
You know what? Ryan Gonzales, you know, he can assist you with buying your lease out. So we look at the lease agreement. There's a reletting fee in there. And then, you know, try to work out the numbers, you know, get creative with getting you out of the lease and getting you into a home.
Yeah, because the realtor can use some of their commission to buy out.
Correct.
Yeah.
The good realtors will want to do that.
Definitely. Yeah,
Yes.
for sure. That's awesome. You have a couple of different relationships with different realtors
Yes.
to use.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. We haven't done a deal in a while, but
We will.
I'm sure we will.
Yes.
What community are you at now?
Currently, I'm in Bernie at Fox Falls. However, we cross-sell all over the city, all the way to New Braunfels.
That was the next question I was going to ask. Okay.
Yes.
A lot of cross-selling going on right now, I imagine?
Oh, a lot. So just sold one, you know, Northwest Side, showed a home in New Braunfels a few weeks ago, you know, everywhere.
So you can work all over. If someone sees a Meritage home or model they like and it's in a different area, you can still show them the house and you can still represent them and help them out.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, so for example, if you have somebody I can help, get their name, start a group chat, introduction, and then get the game plan going. You know, what's her monthly payment goal look like? You know, where does she want to live, and etc. So yeah.
That's good. That's awesome. And so right now you're probably seeing a lot more of those. Y'all probably have a lot of inventory, right? There's a lot of spec homes out there.
Always have an
I would
inventory.
imagine.
Yes. Yeah.
Versus, is there a lot of dirt sales going on right now? People building from the ground up?
Well, so here's the thing, Ryan. You want to do inventory, right? Because you can lock in your payment and your rate, and then we can do a 30 to 60 day close with that.
Yeah, that's a huge benefit for sure.
Yeah. So most inventory. Well,
Yeah,
we
'cause
don't do be built
because you don't know
anymore.
what's going on with the rates or what it's going to look like by the time the house is
Yeah,
ready.
you can build your home for almost a year, and then you don't know what your payment's going to look like. You don't know what your rate's going to look like.
Is
you
that
don't
how
want to
long
do that.
Is that how long it's taking?
Well, we don't personally build homes anymore from, you know, the lot.
Oh, y'all don't? Okay.
No, from the ground up. But, you know,
Well, that's a
there's-
big change. When did
Yeah.
that happen?
after COVID, when the
Really?
rates were kind of going up and down. And
Are there more builders
You know?
going that route?
yes.
Yeah, I've heard that. Okay. So if you want to go custom or super custom or have certain things, you're, probably going to go with some type of custom builder that builds on your lot, I would
Oh, yeah.
imagine. Yeah. And then that, like you said, that could take 9 months to a year. And then we don't know what rates are going to do during
Right.
that time. You can't
Right.
lock it in. Or do you have a program to lock in?
You can do a one-time close and get a rate locked in already. What you're seeing is a lot of people will gamble on the market, do an interest only, just for the construction,
Yeah.
and then convert it to
It's
full-time
easier.
financing. Yeah.
It's easier for them, right?
So
Payment-wise.
everybody's got a different take on what works for them. Obviously, with the builder that you're at, it makes more sense for them to control that process so that they don't have inventory sitting
Yeah, and that's definitely where you come in.
or
And
empty lots for a
you
year.
can help them compare options on what they want to do, because there's a ton more people looking at the market right now and maybe seeing stuff they don't like or whatnot, maybe looking at doing custom home. I've talked to in the last couple of months, I've talked to 3 different buyers about wanting to do custom homes, like wanting to do new construction, but they don't want to do like a specific builder. They want to do custom. And so, you would be the guy to talk to about that.
I can help them with
the
that.
construction loans.
Yeah.
What do those look like? Just so
They're not
people
easy. It's a process. You have to have the right lender. You have to know what steps need to be done. You also have to have a lender that already has an approved builder list. And then you have to run them through that builder list and make sure that builder is reputable. So it's a process.
the lender has to approve the builder,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Some of these people want to get this loan, but they want to choose their own builder. Or they want to build themselves.
Which you can't build yourself. Now, I do have one lender that will, but that's going to be an ugly rate. It's just, they'll let you.
What's an ugly rate?
It would be like 12%.
Oh my God.
That
that's
is pretty ugly.
That's pretty
That's
ugly.
double the rate right now.
Because all the risk is, are you going to just take the money and disappear?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not any collateral until you build it.
Right.
Going back to you on the lending side, Meritage is one of the few builders that works with Carlos as a preferred lender, right?
Absolutely. So back in the day, right, when I first started, a lot of new home builders are like, nope, got to stick to this in-house. Now,
What's the in-house? So you can just explain to the people
Oh,
watching.
yeah. So in-house is just Meritage, in-house mortgage company. But our doors are open to outside lenders. So I love building partnerships right now with my outside lenders.
They
from
can
all-
also send you deals too.
Yes. Yeah. I was like, can I say that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I'm definitely, been blessed with getting referrals, and I give them referrals back, and it's reciprocal. But we give up to $28,000 with our outside lender partners.
And I feel like this is really key right now, not only because you're a broker, but and you offer a lot of different
Right.
options as far as loans, but also just the service that I've experienced with you. You being a veteran,
Right.
I think that plays a huge part in working with the military families here in San Antonio. Just wanted to throw that out there because some of these in-house lenders from different builders may not be the best, to be honest. I've worked with a ton of different builders, ton of different in-house, and a lot of the times I feel like they just are very overwhelmed with all the loans coming in and all the applications and all the buyers that they're working with, that sometimes some stuff slips through the cracks. But it's always been very common for the builder's lender to give you huge incentives, right? Well, now those incentives can go to an outside lender like Carlos, right?
Yes.
And so we're talking about buy downs, rate buy down, talking about closing costs. That's huge. That's really huge.
We did a deal for a veteran recently. They bought a new construction home. The guy only had a couple grand in the bank until he had gotten some severance from his job that he was leaving. Anyway, long story short, we were able to close the deal, use the builder's money to pay all their closing costs.
Oh, wow.
He actually got his appraisal money back and was able to close the deal and literally spent no money out of pocket.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You don't get a lot of that. But with builders helping a lender, that's huge.
Yeah, and honestly, we're seeing more of that when it comes to new construction, how you can structure these loans, and maybe the buyers are using different grant programs or whatnot, or bond programs, but some of these buyers are coming to the table with like basically zero down, getting refunded part of their earnest money or all of it. You look at the cash to close and it's like a couple $100. Like, there's ways to do this because the builder's giving so much incentives for closing costs, buy downs, and then if you use a program for down payment, there's people can still get in a house right now, new house,
We're doing a
with
loan,
warranty.
We're doing a loan
you know.
that's a city program right now, and it has to meet certain income limits. It has to meet certain price points, but the city will give you $30,000
Oh, wow.
towards buying a home. Well, let's say we do it with a builder. We
that's
use
all-
that 30 grand towards principal, and then we use the builder's money to pay the closing costs.
Is that subject to an area, or you can
It
use
has
it
to be
with new
within the city
construction?
of San Antonio.
Okay.
And you have to have X amount of income or less. The price of the house can't be a certain amount.
Yeah.
It's all based on family size and family income. It's a complex program, but it's worth it.
There might not be a ton of builders in the San Antonio city limits right now,
Correct.
but that's a great deal for pre-existing for any house. Really, that's a great option.
Yeah.
Is Meritage do they have any new homes going up inside the city limits?
We will, I think, most likely be having some in 2026, but we're still waiting to hear. But, of course, most new home builders are going to be outside like 1604. But you get low tax rate as low as like 1.4,
I know,
1.2.
I know.
I used to love the
So-
USDA
I love that
loan.
burning tax rate.
Oh, yeah.
I used to love the
beautiful.
USDA option. And I know it's a lot harder to get now. They've really tightened it up on qualifications, but that used to be a great program. Zero down, buy
Yeah.
outside the city, low taxes, no down payment, all your closing costs is covered. People,
Well, that's what helped
Yeah.
grow the outside of the city.
Yeah, Oh, and
USDA loans.
that was
Yeah.
what it's designed for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they made it so difficult now.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I know.
Politics.
Carlos, did you help me with my loan?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. I had great service with him.
And it
Every
was,
week, talk to him.
we did a lot of work to get you the right deal. I remember I was in Vegas, and I called
yeah.
you, and I'm like, we have to lock right now. We have to
Yes.
get this lock.
Yes.
And we did, and we got the great deal.
Yeah. It was
Had
in
we waited another
2022,
day-
but yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I mean,
So that's the service you get.
that is a service you get. I don't know how many lenders are really doing that. I mean, maybe,
I sure as hell know banks aren't staying after 5 or working weekends.
banks aren't doing that. Yeah.
I don't know what I'm not going to beat up the builder lender, but I will say I don't know what their schedule is compared to what mine is.
Well, you want to work with somebody who, is going to communicate with you and make you feel safe during this process. So, yeah.
Because when you bought, you were buying with your income only, and you took that gamble, and I'm glad you did.
Yeah, thanks.
It was cool.
So, going back to the new homes, I know there's less customization now and less dirt sales. Y'all don't even do it anymore. But is there anything that a buyer can customize whenever they're buying with you?
No.
No, not at all. Okay.
No. Don't ask that question.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
No. Drop it.
I got to say no all the time.
No, but okay. But one of the things y'all do have is y'all have a lot of different spec homes, a lot of different color options or package options. I know that's for a fact.
Yes.
Not every home is going to be exactly the same. You'll have different elevations.
What does that mean?
I knew he was going to say that.
The elevations?
The exterior, right?
I'll let Xenia explain that one.
Yeah, it's curb appeal, right? The exterior of the home.
Okay.
Yeah.
So different roof pitches, the
Window
doorway,
placement.
the entrance. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you could literally have the same floor plan, but with different elevations.
It looks like a different
Correct.
house
And a totally
from the
different house.
outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, different roof pitches.
cool.
You have stone instead of brick, or maybe you have
Right.
stucco instead of brick. You know, there's so many different type elevations you can put on there.
Yeah.
The community that you're at
Yes.
in Bernie,
Yes.
how many choices would you say somebody could look at in homes? Like right now, how many homes do you have available?
Oh, come on by. I have like 15 homes
Come on
available,
by.
right? Yeah.
And
Sound like a used car
$28,000 to help
salesman.
somebody out.
Come on
No,
by.
And a lot of money to help somebody out in
Yes.
closing costs.
Yes.
Oh, we can
Yeah.
talk about that. Yeah. What are your incentives out there, and what are your starting price point?
Okay. So in Bernie right now, Fox Falls, our incentives are you can lock at a 4.5. Wait, do you want me to talk about that?
I'm okay with it.
4.5 rate fixed, or we're doing a 2-1 buy down. First year's $299, second year $399.
That's awesome.
Then you're locked at a $499 with $10K in closing costs, or we can negotiate that. But those are in the incentives right now. But since right now it's end of year, some of our homes are discounted up to like $35,000. So I just had a gentleman purchase on a beautiful greenbelt, big tree in the backyard, 3,000 square feet. I think we got it down from like 550 to 502. So yeah.
That's awesome. Buying a new home in Bernie for a new construction.
Now,
3,000 square feet that's huge.
Yeah.
well, it's also all the warranty that you're getting.
That's a great
Yeah.
builder. Yeah.
Yeah. Right across the new Fair Oaks HEB, which everybody loves right now. Like you're right across the street
Yeah,
from it.
that's awesome location.
So in your community, going back to the rates that you're talking about, is that for a specific type of loan, or is that for any kind of loan?
Any kind of loan, VA, FHA, conventional.
That's huge.
That's a good
Yeah.
question. That's a good question.
Yes.
Are you seeing any trends right now, buyers going towards or asking about a specific floor plan or house or color package or whatnot? What are the trends right now you're seeing?
Trends as far as interior?
Yeah,
And everything?
trends or floor plan. Like, is there a certain floor plan that works better for buyers you're selling more of? You gotta have something.
1 stories. 1 stories are huge. 2 stories are still popular, but a lot of 1 stories.
4 bedrooms, maybe?
4 bedrooms,
Yeah.
3 full baths.
More people working from home, they probably need that fourth.
Yes, there's so many people working from home. They want an office at home. A lot of people request a bedroom and a bathroom, like a guest suite is what we call it,
that's huge.
together.
Mhm.
Yeah, so modern trends, white, some like lightish gray, definitely updated, with if we're doing a 2-story, the wrought iron railing. So that's a lot of things I hear, like people that are looking at pre-existing, they're like, oh, I love this home, but it has like the red carpet in, it has the wooden balusters, and I'm like, you don't want that,
It's dated.
Yeah, so they have to spend money to update the home.
And primarily what I've seen with new construction is the builders have always kept up with the latest trends. So as far as the color package and the colors and whether it be high ceilings or blinds or appliances, whatever the buyers kind of ask for, the builders know. They do their research. They ask for surveys at the end of the sale.
Yes.
And so they know more or less what the general buyers want, and which I find very, very awesome and easy, when a buyer goes in there and start looking at homes. It makes it easy for everybody.
Well, they have better choices that I think is going to appeal to the market today versus a house that's 20, 30 years old that needs work.
Yeah, and we're a military city,
Right.
also, so a lot when it's PCS season, military loves that Meritage. We include washer, dryer,
Yeah, that's huge.
It's
the little
fridge,
things.
blinds, smart home security system.
It's little things like that. They all add up.
Move-in ready.
Move-in ready.
Just like the utilities. I mean, every little dollar counts these days.
Agreed.
with these times. So I like that a lot.
With $12 eggs, right? I don't know. Inflation.
Are you seeing a lot of military out there?
We have some military being near Camp Bullis, but again, I cross sell everywhere, so I don't discriminate on any
So you're
location.
all over the place.
Yeah.
Is what I'm hearing.
Yes. We go as far as I don't know where Redbird Ranch is, like Highway 9604.
I do.
We have another one, Callison Ranch, and then New Braunfels is really beautiful and booming right now. Have you
Definitely.
guys driven out there?
Oh,
It's amazing that there's any more space in New Braunfels.
Mm-hmm. Like
It's blowing up.
Yeah.
north of New Braunfels, we have a really nice community. I've sold a few homes out there. So, yeah.
Cool.
One of my recent customers owned, is a McDonald's franchise owner. So they relocated from Laredo and they purchased in Bernie. A lot of people, their children going to UTSA, which is like 15, 20 minutes down the road.
That's what I was going to ask you too.
Yeah.
What type of buyers are you seeing right now? I mean, you seeing a lot of first-time buyers, second-time buyers.
I would say move up.
Relocation.
Move
Move
up
ups.
and relocation. Relocation is probably like 90% of requests I get.
Yeah, and not even military, just people relocating from other big cities, right?
Yeah.
East Coast, West Coast. I know. California's losing a lot of people right now too.
Oh, for sure.
What's your range of price on your homes from the bottom to the top?
Sure. Meritage, we offer inventory, the lowest price I have is $296,990. Highest price, maybe about $565,990.
So that's a large range. 300 grand when you're going to get reduced insurance because it's a brand new house.
Yep.
You're going to get lower taxes because
Yeah.
you're outside the city. You're going to get a preferred rate. You're going to get most of your closing costs paid. It's almost crazy not to buy a new home. And
It is.
that's me being candid.
Oh, new home sales are up like crazy. Yeah.
It's supposed to be up more in 2026, but we'll see.
Yeah, but just in general, like when it comes to sales right now, like new home sales are up like crazy.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah,
I really can.
and that's another reason why pre-existing is just kind of struggling right now. We're at 6 months, inventory. We haven't been at
Here's
that.
the other thing. I mean, nobody wants to sell their house because they've got those 2% rates.
But there's still a lot of house on the market right now.
Right.
Yeah.
And if
It's adding up.
If people did want to sell their house,
It'd be tougher.
it'd be a heavy buyer market right now. Yeah, for sure. How have the sales and transactions been this year compared to last year and the years prior? Let's talk a little about that. You talked a little about 26 sales are supposed to be up. I believe that too. If the rates start coming down a little by little,
Yeah.
I think we'll see a little bit more sales in general. I know applications have picked up, more towards the end of this year. What have you been seeing
Currently, right here in 2025.
compared to last year or the year before?
So I want to say around spring, summer, I think we were competing a little bit more with pre-existing. And then now we're seeing increase. So it's a little steady. We're not as busy as we used to be, but we're still steady. I think people are waiting for rates to drop. I don't know.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
talked about that. I mean, the waiting for the rate to drop, you're losing all that money the builder's giving. Plus, that house is going to cost 3 to 5% more next year. That's just math.
Yeah.
So waiting is, if you just did the math, is the most extreme mistake anyone can make.
Yeah, we could talk a little bit
Yeah.
about that. I mean, I know that you probably haven't seen much, but have you seen price increases from this year to last year?
Oh, definitely. Yes. So especially when a community is starting out, you start with I don't want to say base pricing, but, the entry level pricing. And then, it starts to go up, it starts to increase. But then people love that too, because they're like, okay, if I purchase at a community that just opened, my equity is going to be growing. Prices are going to be, growing.
At a reputable builder.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the big one. Because we've seen those less than reputable builders. I won't mention any names.
Yeah.
So what
But,
I'm hearing is it's better to get into a new home
Mm-hmm.
when they're just starting to build in that area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like phase 1.
Yeah. Phase 2.
Because slowly but surely that price point's going to go up. So you're
Mhm.
building equity just off that. And then when they completely finish out the community, I know that equity will spike too.
Mm-hmm.
With new homes in general, I forgot my question actually. I totally forgot my question.
That's okay. I'll take a sip of my coffee.
What a break.
Give me a second. Let me see. What was I going to say? Where was I going with that?
We're talking about the community, how the prices are increased in the beginning of a community.
The equity that you're building.
The equity we're
during its
building.
construction.
Well, no, it was flowing.
It was
flowing.
It was flowing, sure.
I'm like, this is fun.
Now that we're taking a break, is there any more questions? I want to ask you about that one, like, positive, happy experience or whatnot. You know, like.
Oh, yeah.
You have a story you think for that?
Let me think of one real quick.
A success story.
I have one. Actually, with my retired vets. I have like 2 of them. Like they didn't have the best. I don't know if I should talk about that. Like
Well,
they
you're
didn't
not
have the
sharing
best.
names.
Yeah, they didn't have the. They had like 580 credit scores.
I think you should definitely talk about that.
I think you should.
Yeah, and
People are concerned. I think most people are concerned about down payment right now.
Credit.
And credit.
yeah,
you know?
they did have bad credit, like not very good credit. And well, sorry, Carlos. I had to call Veterans United for Veterans Lending Group.
Jesus, sorry.
I know. Well, because you're a guest on the show.
I would have given them a better deal. I guarantee it.
Yeah, like this might sting, but
I called Veterans
No, it
Lending
is what it
Group.
is. As long as they got
and-
into the home, that's what
Yeah,
matters.
and this family was just so thankful. I mean, they had like 3 kids. One child had, special needs, like he had a disability. Actually, both of the families I helped. One was the Patty family, and the other one, I can't remember their last name right now.
Bottom line is the
Yeah.
lender was able to overcome a hurdle
Yes.
with a score. And so here's what a lot of people don't know. VA doesn't require a credit score to qualify.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But the
lender
better the
requires-
rate, the better the
That's
or
what
better the
happened.
credit, the better the rate.
But if they could work with your lender, if that lender would have done the deal,
Yeah.
they could have gotten an amazing rate.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, they got into a home, and it's better than paying rent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why do you think, and I've never even asked this to my loan officers, but I always wondered why the in-house lender, like they have stricter guidelines or rules versus in
answer
like
that.
the outside lenders?
I can answer that.
dude, that's
Okay.
actually a great question.
Yeah,
So-
I've always
Yeah.
wondered that.
Yeah, he knows.
Most of your in-house lenders are a joint partnership with a large mortgage company.
Oh, like ours is Loan Depot.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
So Loan Depot may own 49% of the company.
Mm-hmm.
And so Cornerstone is another one. They're really big with builders. And so it'll be called, Meritage Lending, but it's actually just a partnership.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
what ends up happening is those lenders are not banks. They're not mortgage banks. So they're usually correspondent lenders, and they're selling those loans to somebody else. Now, Loan Depot is one of the larger lenders. So that's why you're getting some preferred rates there. What ends up happening, though, is between your mortgage company and Loan Depot underwriting the loan, what you're going to see is overlays, meaning rules on top of the rules that Freddie or Fannie or HUD already have.
Oh.
And they do that to protect when they're packaging those bundles and they sell them on the back end. They want to make sure that their package is perfect so they can maximize their profit when they sell the loan.
Like a perfect, are you meaning like a good file? Okay.
And they want them all to be identical
Okay.
because then they can say, hey, I've got 100 loans or 1,000 loans
That are A
that are
plus
exactly
rating.
the same.
Ah, okay.
And so they can make more
I
money.
just watched that movie, The Big Short.
Oh, yeah. It's
Yeah, I was like,
It'll
oh my
break your
God,
heart.
this is crazy.
Yeah, so you understand it a little bit better, what he was saying right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had like loan ratings,
Yeah.
A, B, C,
Yeah.
whatever. And then they stopped doing the ratings in 08.
Yeah,
and then
funny
they
how
were
that
just like
happened.
passing out candy and then everything crashed.
Yeah, and they started mixing in those bad loans with good loans and packaging those and selling them.
You had everybody
It's crazy.
Yeah.
that didn't care back then. Lenders got blamed for selling products that should not have been sold, but they existed for a market, right? Just the way non-QMs exist today.
Yeah, they were
I mean-
allowed to.
after Dodd-Frank went live, 40% of the buyers that were actually qualified 700 plus credit scores couldn't even buy a home.
Yeah, I heard that.
So the thing that changed was prior to '08, you had everybody with their hand out. I mean, you'd have a realtor go, hey, I don't like that appraisal. Let me go buy you another one. Oh, wait, let me go buy you another one. I don't like that appraisal.
Crazy.
And you would see it happening. Everybody was manipulating the system. Lenders.
Were you a loan officer at that time?
No, I wasn't. I was in
Okay.
collections.
Okay. Collecting whatever they were
Bad debt.
Yeah.
That's
The
Bad debt.
domino effect, right? Yeah.
It was out of
crazy.
control.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that it went into effect. It really cleaned up the market. It's put a lot of security in homes.
Mm-hmm.
The downside that it created was it basically froze money for about 4 years. And so what you ended up having is a lot of buyers that wanted to buy that couldn't buy. So we
Some
had,
pent-up
and then you
demand.
had builders shrink their amount of inventory that they were building at pre-existing. You had sellers who were stuck on the market. They couldn't sell, so they would stay.
Or reduce
And now we're still playing catch up because we just don't have enough inventory nationally.
nationwide. Yeah, it's still a little low.
Wow.
Yeah. I know what I wanted to ask.
Okay.
Yay.
So I wanted to ask the best time to buy a new home, new construction.
The best time is now, Ryan.
Yeah. I would've
said yesterday.
now.
It's always now.
I would have said
Now.
yesterday.
Yesterday.
Because here's the thing, and customers, first-time buyers, I love them. I would love to handhold them and coddle them and make their dreams come true. But, they're like, well, when is the best time? Or how do I know this? You take a leap of faith. It's like kind of gambling. That's what Carlos would tell me. Like, when do I lock in my rate, Carlos? Well, when he says, but he's my advisor, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, you want somebody who's looking out for you. But the best time is always to buy now because, what might be available now is not going to be there tomorrow. And that's it.
Incentives.
Incentives.
Seasonal though. You said at the end of the year,
Mm-hmm.
builders like to push the product and give discounts. Are you seeing a little bit more discounts now compared to the summer? Or?
Yes, we
Okay.
have. And also, we're motivated because, we're getting ready to flourish in 2026, new communities, new homes. And, the seller is motivated to sell this inventory that's been there. And, somebody can call it home. Also, I tell my people towards end of year, you're going to get a tax return. You want to invest that money not only into your portfolio like IRA or 401k, but invest it into, a home and build that portfolio. Also, end of year, if you purchase, you can reduce your taxable income when you purchase a home.
Here's the other big one that a lot of people forget. If you buy at the end of the year, you now get to claim homestead as of January 1.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you're saving money there.
Yes.
And if your lender, so most of my lenders don't require an escrow. I know that just about every lender in San Antonio does. So I'm able to save people money because now that money that they would have spent in an escrow, they can use to buy down the rate. So end of year just creates a lot of opportunity, I think, for everybody.
Oh, for sure. And then also, if people are intimidated by the process, or let's say you don't have, a 620 credit score, you earn 500, that's okay. That's okay. We can create a plan to get you there. And at least, fill out the application, kind of like going to see a doctor. You walk in, we're going to take a look at your file, and then we can prescribe you the right solutions once we see your financial application in your file.
Yeah, there's still so many people that are scared to even ask the questions or to go to somebody and basically admit that they don't have perfect credit.
And that's okay.
Or they don't have what they think they need for down payment. But there's a game plan that could be set up for them.
Absolutely. And that's okay.
It's
you're
funny
trying.
you say that because, again, coming back from a world of collections for 20 years, I got to see a lot of what was causing problems in scoring. And so I'll never forget, I had an older gentleman buying a home, and he's like, man, I'm not going to qualify. I have terrible credit. I've been living on cash for the last 20 years.
Wow.
Well, he didn't have terrible credit. He had no credit.
Oh.
He was a blank.
So it's easy to establish credit,
We
right?
got him a credit card,
Yeah.
a secure card, and within a few months, he
6
was a
months,
700 score.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that people think they know, but don't really know because they haven't applied.
Yeah. Well, Meritage, we have a free credit improvement services too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So just
I've heard actually good stories about that. Your builder actually follows through with the service. I've heard of other stories where Yeah, they sent me to this guy, and I never heard from him.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah,
sad.
we had a credit repair guy on here a couple months back,
Oh,
and
okay.
I know there's a lot of people that do credit repair,
Mm-hmm.
and we've heard a lot of like bad stories about how people just basically lose their money, or credit repair doesn't follow through with what they say they're going to do, or it takes longer than
Yeah.
it should, and they just feel like they're getting taken advantage of. But
Mm-hmm.
there are some builders that offer these programs, and from what you've
And
heard,
they stay in touch.
yeah,
Yeah.
from what you heard, they do a good job.
It matters.
That's good.
Yeah, just a third-party story. Can I tell that real quick?
Yeah, give us
You got another one?
give us
Yeah.
a success.
Okay, cool.
Success story.
So I had two families, come to Meritage Homes at Estancia, one of our North Stone Oak location. Late 580 credit score. That's okay. Partnered, with Veterans Lending Group. Great service, and within 60 days, we got them into a home. So, we helped them build their credit, their VA loans. But, both families were one was a family of 5, another one a family of 6. They had mom living with them. They had 4 kids. One of their kids, they needed 2 bedrooms down. One of the kids had a disability. So that was really fulfilling to myself and the lender to be able to get them a home.
Oh, yeah.
And then they were so gracious to give us, a testimonial, and
That's awesome.
did a video for us. And yeah, felt really good. I had pizza and dinner delivered to them, the day of closing. That way they could, you have a lot going on when you're moving into a home.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think there's still a lot of people out there that don't know the VA benefits, especially if you're
I know.
if you're disabled, you get a little bit more benefits. Zero down's a huge one for any
100%.
veteran. 100%. Yeah, if you're 100% disabled, you
Don't pay any taxes.
don't pay any taxes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Assuming it's a service-related disability.
And then you don't need a actual minimum credit score for VA loans too. It's more about the reserves, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Their VA has a specific guideline for manually underwriting loans. Now, not every lender will take those loans, but I have a relationship with a lender that will take VA scores down to 500.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. FHA loans down to 500.
I was going to ask that too.
Yeah.
FHA loans, which is the most popular first-time buyer loan, 3.5% down.
I did
Yeah.
mine, FHA.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do FHA and do more than 3.5% down. I
Yeah.
just learned that this past year.
Yeah. It doesn't always make a lot of sense.
It probably helps with the mortgage insurance a little bit, right? But
Little discount. but
maybe not
it's-
worth it.
The big value really is if you're putting more down, you might be able to either buy down a better rate or get a slightly lower payment. I mean, for every 10 grand you put down, it's only going to save you $100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot.
No,
That's good you
Sure.
mentioned that. Not a lot of people know that.
it's just not enough value.
Yeah.
Whereas that 10 grand, you put that in the rate, you're going to make more than that $100.
Yeah, I know. You'll get a lot of return
A lot
on
more
that
bang
money.
for the buck.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up, I wanted to ask you one last question. What piece of advice would you give to any buyer that's looking at new construction homes right now? Do you have something to give them?
Oh, yeah. I just told my friend her baby just turned 2, and I was like, he just needs to buy a home. If we go to 50-year mortgages.
Yesterday.
I'm just kidding.
Yesterday.
But no, to buy a new home, like good advice.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
to
Anybody walking in the door looking at new construction, what's
Yeah.
one piece of advice you can give them?
I mean, it's a great investment. It's going towards an asset, going to be a write-off, and you're going to have low electric bills. You're going to have great warranty. And you're going to get great service from me. So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
I know that's a fact.
Those things matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I
And then
call
you can
everybody
team up-
weekly.
You can team up with Carlos too, which is great.
Yes.
Yes, I can help.
You're going to get great service with him too.
I will.
One-on-one personal customer service.
It matters.
So, yeah.
Nice.
It does matter.
Cool. Well, that's pretty much all I have.
Okay.
I
thanks,
appreciate you coming through and answering some questions for us.
I know you're always busy.
We're always busy, right? But
Yeah,
it's
we had to
okay.
reschedule
Thank
this a
you.
couple
Thank you.
times.
Yeah, of course.
for
Thank
sure.
y'all. Thanks.
All right. Well, until then, guys, we'll see you later. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye. That was fun.
Cool.